Well, all right, folks, today I'm going to talk about what may be one of the best deals in disc golf. And we're going to talk about it right after the intro. Okay, for any of y'all that have been around my channel for a while should know that I love remix discs. As a matter of fact, that's what I use for my practice discs. And I got another set, and I think this is such an amazing deal. I got the 8-disc set, and this time they actually sent the bag. The first time I did it, I didn't realize that it didn't send the bag till it was too late. But I've got 8 premium discs and the bag, and let's not forget this little wonderful little flippy little marker for $45. And so when you do the math, I mean, it's like less than $6 a disc and the bag thrown in there. So, I mean, you get this, you maybe splurge on a water bottle and a towel, and that's such a great gift for a new player, because what they've done with this, and I don't know if it's every one, but I think they probably keep an eye on this, they're not getting too crazy with the disc selection in here, and I think it's great for beginning players. So for Christmas, what a great gift to give somebody a whole bag of discs and say, hey, this will get you started and this will get you a long way. And it's 40, I think it was $45, and then tax it was like 48 bucks. And that was prime deal days, and I think it might go up to 54 or something like that, I'm not sure. But if you shop around, what a great little gift, birthday gift. Just have a couple of these around. You meet somebody who gets interested in disc golf. Man, what a great thing that you can give them. Plus, they're just great discs, especially since I've been starting to stock these for my practice discs. You know, love my Spartans and stuff like that. It's a great tie in there as well. So anyway, we're going to talk about these just a second. Okay, so here we go. Starting out from I'm going from the speediest down to the slowest. And so we've got the Rumble, the Spartan, the Troll, the Mercenary, and then we come back and we've got the Gladius. I always want to call it Claudius. And then the Torpedo, the Detonator, and the Eldritch. Now the numbers on these puppies. The Rumble is a 10-5 minus 1-2. And I've done some research, and I'll probably put the chart up that talks about what it's comparative to, because these discs are premium plastic discs that are done by MVP as they're overruns for other stuff. And so high quality discs. And the closest thing to it, if not exactly like it, the numbers are 10-5 minus 1-2, but the TSA Thought Space or a Construct would be a good comparison to this guy. Then we've got the Spartan, which is a 9-6 minus 2-1, and compared to the Mint Diamondback or Freetail and the Thought Space Mantra. Don't mind that. I thought I got my stuff mixed up. I thought it was the Skirmisher was tied into this, but it's not. So ignore that. All right, then the Troll, and it is a 7.5, 4.5, 02. And for Mint, it's like the Grackle, and the Thought Space, it's like the Votum. I really like the Troll a lot. And then we've got the Mercenary, and it is a 6.5 minus 2-1. And I didn't find any direct correlations, but I think it's kind of like the Trail in some way, not the Trail, the Crave. Flight numbers seem sort of like that. And I like that it went to the 10 speed. You didn't need to go even higher than that, because somebody starting out, you know, that's more than enough. So then we drop down to our mid-range. And the Gladius, the numbers are wrong on this, and that's why I have this stuff going here. It has it set as a 5.5 minus 0.51, but it really is overstable, and it's like a 3 on the fade. And so the question is if it's actually misprinted as a Battleship, or it's most like the Mint Taco. This really flies more like a Pyro than it does what the numbers say on this. This is a very overstable, well, pretty overstable. It's not tilt overstable, but it's very overstable. And then a wonderful Torpedo that's the numbers are right on this, 5501. So like the Mint, it's a Mustang, or the Thought Space, a Pathfinder, or the Wild Disc, Addicts Reborn. I love this disc a lot. Just a straight, controlled with a little fade at the end. And then we get down to the Detonator. and it's a 330 1.5. And I think it might have a little more stability to that. I haven't thrown this in a little while, but maybe a 1.5 may be all right, but it could also be under the name Juggernaut. I think they changed these up. And then the Mint Prophet. Remix had to kind of rename a couple discs at different times, and so sometimes there's a little confusion about Juggernaut, Detonator, stuff like that. And I keep drifting up, sorry about that. And then finally, the Eldritch putter. And such a great throwing putter. And it is a 3301. And for the Mint, it's like the Bullet. Thought Space, it's like the Practice. And Jester, it's like the Love. If you've seen Robbie C's channel, it was one of these that I gave him that ended up winning the day in his putter battle that he now throws the Praxis, or at least I think he still has it in the bag. So the good news is they finish with the 10-speed, but a lot of them are a little bit understable, got a little more understability to it until you get down to the mid-ranges with the Gladius and then the Detonator. But everything else kind of is great for that new arm starting out. And so I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful set to do. And it's only 45 bucks. That's just crazy. So now, yeah, Pete, that's great, but let's see how they throw. So we're gonna go out in the field and I'm gonna show you how they throw. Some of these I'm familiar with. A couple of them I've only thrown a little bit, but I like all of them. Let's face it, it's premium MVP plastic. And listen, $6 a piece. I mean, let's face it, if you tend to be a little frugal, this kind of stuff gets me excited. So anyway, let's go out and throw it in the field once Lawrence comes through. Okay, so we're gonna throw these out in the field, but what I love about being in Alabama in the summer is I tried to film the intro and all that in the shade over there, but even that short amount of time, the sweat is just coming out. I've pretty much killed a couple microphones just from the sweat from the summer. But so now I'm just gonna take these and I'm just gonna show you kind of a good, I'm not gonna try to kill these, but I'm gonna show you their hopefully good flight characteristics. And it's at this time I go, boy, I should have thrown a couple before I do this, but let's see how it goes, because I can always do it again. It's only 105 degrees out here. One thing I will make mention, these feel a little sticky, like there's some little film on it. Let me know if you kind of notice that or whatever. I think it might have been packaging or something like that. I mean, the plastic doesn't feel super sticky, just basically it's normal thing, but it feels like there's like a film or something. I should have brought a chalk bag or something, because it just feels a little tacky. All right, so I'm gonna start with the Eldritch. Remember, that's a 3301. It's out, nice and straight with a little fade at the end. Yep, it's very controllable, just smooth, reliable. That's what you want. There's a reason why Robbie C chose that as his throwing putter. All right, now for the Detonator. I do like the name. And if I remember right, a little more beefy. Terrible color. I may lose this out in the field. It might as well just throw this the other direction because I won't be able to see it. I threw that nice and flat, and you see it's just kind of pulling to the left. I'd say a 1.5 or a 2 on the finish. Maybe a 1.75, take that MVP. I'll even go one better than you. You like the 0.5s, how about a 1.75? Because yeah, it goes out and then it's a nice reliable fade, a little bit harder. A good old faithful torpedo. I love the torpedoes, basically the Mustang. If I had to choose one disc and buy a bunch of them, it'd be the torpedo from Remix. I put that on a little anhyzer, but then it's just going out and just settling down. It's a straight flyer. That's the first flight of that. So you can see it came out, it did a little bit of this, went out and just faded back this way. And I actually put it on a little bit of anhyzer. If I'd thrown it straight, it probably would cruise like that. A nice little subtle ending. All right, now this is the Gladius, which says it's a 5.5 minus 0.51. But watch how much this thing dumps. I'm gonna try to throw this nice and flat. To be honest, that didn't dump as much as some of my other. It still got a decent, but that was more like a 2 instead of a 3. Some people saying it's a lot like the Taco. So yeah, it might be, once again, quality control. Sometimes I've got a couple of these that are just meat hooks, and that one definitely pushed a little farther before it fell off. So, what is it? Results may vary. I'm doing this a lot. I don't know why. Ignore that. Sorry. I think the Mercenary is going to be great for beginner folks. It's a 6.5 minus 2.1, but I'm just envisioning this just going out there and just cruising. I turned it just a little as I threw it, but look at that nice smooth ride and just finished. It just, Troll is my friend. I like it. 7.5, 4.5, O2, like the Grackle or the Votum. I think of it a lot like a T-Bird, in between a T-Bird and T-Bird 3. Oh, do you see me turn that over? It still fought out. You can still see the flight, because even if I turned it over, you could see it came out and fought. So that's going to tell you its stability. I kind of pulled along here. I hate to say it. There's a line right here I'm trying not to cross, but it's kind of diagonal from where I'm throwing, and it's getting in my head. And I love the Spartan. It reminds me of a Valkyrie. It's a 9.6 minus 2.1. And so I'm going to throw it with just a touch of hyzer so it can flip and ride a little bit. There's that flip. I probably gave it a little too much hyzer, so it's fighting back that way. But still, they're just nice. If I put it here, it's just going to come out. It's going to ride, and then have a nice fade at the end. Let's face it, I prefer understable than straight disc. Anyway, and then the rumble. This is just reminds me a lot of the Trail, which is not a bad thing. I think. I haven't thrown this in a while. I've thrown a lot of Trails, but let's see how this does. I can't remember. It could have been the Trail or the Orc. We shall find out. Boy, I am... my timing, I'm pulling over a little bit, but there's also a little bit of a headwind. But you see, it's definitely, that 2 is questionable because it didn't want to fight out of it. It just kind of settled down. Let's go grab them, and maybe I'll throw them back and we'll just double check it. All right, so hear me when I talk about these discs, and I talk about the great gifts for beginners and stuff like that. They're great discs, full stop. As a matter of fact, I keep a Mustang, a Spartan, and a Troll in my bigger bag. You know, when I've got a full lineup of discs, those 3 make my bag all the time. The other ones, you know, I've got a lot of different choices, but they're all sitting right there going, maybe you should use me. You know, how you have those question marks of, boy, I could really trade this disc out for that. Most of these could trade in for another disc. They're all solid discs. So don't think this is just, just because they're half price doesn't mean they're half. All right. Oh, by the way, so as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play an entire round out here with just these discs. I've got a doubles tournament coming out here in Calera in a week and a half or so, and I need to get used to this course, and I thought it'd be a great time to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so you'll get to see these guys in action. So make sure you check that out whenever it pops up. All right, start with the Eldridge. Had just a touch of hyzer on it when I released it, but you see, just push straight with a little fade. Detonator. I threw that nice and flat, and you see it just immediately as it goes starts pulling over. It's not traveling like this. It's going and immediately starting to twist. Torpedo. Nice and flat. Look at it just cruise. Yep. Did I mention I like the Torpedo? All right, Gladius. You can see why, if you look, can you see the font? It kind of looks like Claudius. And for some reason, I think Roman to, I don't even try to understand my brain, but I keep messing up Gladius for Claudius. Yeah, I threw that pretty flat, but I pushed it out a little bit, so that's a little deceptive how far it went left. It still has a little bit of beef. It's not super beef, it's mid beef. All right, now the Mercenary. I turned it just a little, but look at this thing. It's just gonna hold it, hold it, hold it. Now it's gonna come back. And then went through the end of the field, so not bad. It just cruised on down. That's a smooth flying disc. All right, now the troll. Got that a little higher. And you see it did a little of this, and now it's fading back and landing almost on line. Now a breeze came up right as I was doing that. About a 8-mile-an-hour breeze came across this way that helped lead it off to the right a little bit. But it's just a nice controllable. It's what I think, you know, when I think of a T-bird, I'm thinking more of that flight, and it's actually the T-bird's got a little more dump to it, I think. That one's got a little less dump, and I actually like it better. It's kind of like a seasoned up T-bird, at least in my mind. But keep in mind, I am not a good disc whisperer. I can't tell you the exact, I just know how they fly, and I like the way the troll flies. Just like the Spartan. Yep. Now, hooks up at the end, right down the middle. You see, I put it a little bit out here, popped up road, crossed over, and then got that little lift and fade back at the end. It's nice. And finally, the rumble. I keep turning that one over. I'm expecting that one, you know, that's preconceived notions there. I need to think like a trail, and for some reason I'm thinking like an orc, that it's going to want to fight out. That's me, that's not the disc. So there you go, guys. I'm looking sexy as all get out. That looks like a Rorschach test. Tell me what do you see in here? I know what I see in here. I'm Batman. Yeah, give me your most creative Rorschach from the sweat stains on my shirt, because that's high quality content right there. There you go, guys. Listen, I don't have any skin in this thing. I just think it's such an amazing bargain. $45 for 8 premium discs and a bag. I showed it to my 25-year-old son, who rarely, you know, he's grown up with disc golf. He's kind of like, he's seen it all. He's like, yeah. I showed it to him. He goes, how is that possible? So if he got excited about it for just a moment, because if you have older kids, you understand, you can only get them excited for just a moment. But the fact that he got excited about the price point and these discs means there's something there. So anyway, there you go, guys. I just want to help you find some stuff that's going to make your life better, more enjoyable, and heck, I think these are such great presents. I ran into my buddy Lawrence out here, and he said, yeah, this could be a great travel bag for you, because at the end of the day, let's say you go traveling with this, you go play, it's a full bag, but if you lost it, you're not heartbroken, and you haven't lost all your main discs. So just to keep it in the car as a travel bag would be awesome. So there you go. That's all I got for today. I'm out here. I'm about to spontaneously combust because it's now 222 degrees out here. But I appreciate you sticking with me this long. I hope this encouraged you. Leave some questions. If you have any more insight into Remix discs, I'm going to try to leave the chart in the description or a link or something like that. But give you a little bit more comparison where everything is. I think they're just a great deal, and you just kind of have to keep shopping Amazon, because certain sets will pop up, some will come, some will go, depending on what's going on. But if you can keep an eye on that, sort of like this drop of sweat right there, you can find some great bargains. I got, speaking of the great bargains, during Prime Deal days, I picked up, I'm building out my bag, so it was an 8-speed, Ronins. I picked up 12 Ronins, and I think there was a mismarking on it. That's what you got to keep an eye on, because they had the descriptions for like a graphite golf club, but I got 12 for $54. It's normally $99, so I saved, maybe it was $64. I saved $35 just on Prime Day, because I kept an eye out, and I was like, oh, I got to buy that. So it was literally like less than almost $5.50 per disc. So anyway, there you go. I've rambled on. I'm hot, heat stroke. I got to drink some water. But I appreciate coming around with me. Make sure, if you can, help me out. Like, subscribe, leave some comments, questions to help the whole algorithm go out there. I'm trying to do this, trying to bring you along, and I hope to see you out on the course.